Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Saturday. It's Daryl here. It is 3:45 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Um, I've been very, um, I gotta be honest. I've been very angry the last few days. I usually look through about 10 different news sources, from Fox News, from Flipboard and the far right, or the far left. I'm sorry, the far left, all the way to Fox News to the far right, and everything in between, so I can get a fair idea of what's really going on with these stories, to get a true version. Um, what I see is, to me, it looks like Donald Trump is losing control. I think, to me, it appears that after this bleach incident, he was very, with his ego and his arrogance, I think it wounded him, and he's on the war path now to blame everybody, anything, and everybody else for the coronavirus. Um, I think he thinks it hurt his reelection, and we've all heard his mo, his modus operandi: win at all costs. He said that dozens and dozens of times in books. That's his motto: win at all costs. Unfortunately, I don't think Trump supporters understand that means at their costs. I don't understand. I was going to make this video, and I want to ask the Trump supporters about three things lately that Trump has done that bother me greatly, and I want to understand how they can support these things. Maybe I'll go with that. First, I'm going to apologize. In a video yesterday, I was talking about Michigan and the protesters, and I used California as an example, that the governor of California closed down all the beaches, and I said that sure, they're not happy about it, but they're not out there protesting. Well, they are protesting today. They are very upset about it, and California is protesting. Are they carrying guns into the state capitol? No, they're not doing that, but they are angry, and they are protesting, and I can understand why. The beach is I am a water person. The beach is where I live, and to close it down would be to close down a part of my life, and I imagine that's how California feels. So yeah, I just wanted to correct that. I used that as an example yesterday. All right, let's get right into it. The first thing is, there's more and more evidence coming out of where this PPP money went. Now, Trump supporters, why does this has to bother you? Trump campaigned on draining the swamp, right? You guys loved hearing that. When this money, I was afraid at the beginning, there's so much money. It's hard for me to comprehend $2 trillion. People say it with ease, but when you actually figure out millions, billions, and then trillions, 12 zeros, it's hard for the human mind to understand how much money that really is. And then the 350 billion PPP. Now that was gone in 13 days. There's more and more, because this is a matter of public record, and a lot of it has gone to the oil and coal industry right away, to Trump's connections, to former Trump associates. And this is coming out more and more. Like I told you guys in my video, this money went out so fast in such huge amounts, and human nature being what it is, I'm willing to bet more than 50% of this money went to it was corrupt. We went to corrupt places, to places it shouldn't have gone. And I think like I said in my other video, in the years to come, decades to come, this is going to be one of the biggest stories, one of the biggest ripoffs of the American taxpayer. That's what I'm willing to bet. All right, let's move on to China. You guys know how this, I'll just say, man, it frightens me. I really truly believe that this could progress into I see it progressing now into a bigger situation of a possible actual military war with China. Right now, Trump is doubling down. He's making, even though the United States intelligence agencies have came out and said that it is not man-made. It was not man-made. It's not genetically modified. They know that. Our U.S. intelligence looked to talk to the scientists, and they're sure it's not. Trump says he has evidence. He has some evidence, but he can't show you. Not allowed to show you, but he's got evidence. He's seen it, that it was done in a lab. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of him talking about Obama bugging his microwave. Remember that microwave? Trump said he had evidence. He had photographic evidence, and he was going to show everybody next week that Barack Obama bugged his Trump Tower penthouse. He has evidence. Trust me, he's got it, and I'm going to show you next week. Never came. What about the taxes? I'm going to show you. There, I'm being audited. It's 3.5 years later. He's not going to show you. He's lying. So now he says he's got evidence. He's seen it with his own eyes. He's got evidence that it was in a laboratory. Why is he saying this? Because he needs to say this to be reelected. Win at all costs. And this is at our costs, so that he's taking our taxpayer money and giving it to his donors so they can give it right back to him. The coal, the oil industries. Starting a war with China. One more thing. Before I continue, I put a link at the bottom here. Now, Trump supporters they're warmongers. The United States is great, biggest, best military ever. We'll kick their ass, bomb the hell out of them. I've got something from the United States military, and it's a link down below. It's from the United States military, and it's a analysis of the Chinese military and our military, and I want you guys to take a look at it. There'd be no winner. Their standing army is 2.3 million. Ours is 1 million, I think, 1,300,000. Their reserve is 8 million. And they're all active. You guys look down. I don't know how that is, but they're all active. So that's a total of 10 million soldiers. They got more tanks. They have 280 nuclear warheads. China has 280 nuclear warheads. I think we got about 6,500. The bottom line is there'd be no winner. Look at the size, the landmass of China. Look at the population of China. Both of those are many, many times the United States. It wouldn't matter. There would be no winner. It's a bad road to go down. It's a fatal road to go down. For what? For Trump to have somebody to blame, so he can get reelected. Win at all costs. And it's getting downright scary. And then let's move on now. My third point. The way he's encouraging these armed protesters. He actually encouraged the governor to negotiate with these people that forced their way into the Michigan State House with armed. It's just, look, you got the right to bear arms. You got the right to protest. But we all know what went down there. It goes beyond. It's this far from being like, you know how we have home invasions? Well, that was like a state capitol invasion. I mean, you can't invade a public property, but you guys, come on, you know what I'm saying. It wasn't cool. It's not the way we do business in America. And then the fact that Trump turns around and says they're very good people. These people were using, well, let's be honest, they were using intimidation, armed intimidation, bullying tactics. That's not how America works, man. It's just not. And what were they protesting? You know, we're all dealing with this. It's not the governor's fault. Um, and then the fact that Whitmer is a very possible vice presidential candidate to run against Trump, well, that just puts it all into perspective. This isn't about freedoms. This isn't about the Second Amendment. This is about him bullying the future vice president, his opponent, or Pence's opponent. That's all it's about. Win at all costs. It's all about him. It's all about him. It's not about your rights. It's not about your freedom. It's not about China. Well, okay, let's go back to China. Now, what would be, so China develops this coronavirus. What's their objective? To make the whole world sick? How does that benefit them? How does making their own country, infecting 800,000 people in China, how does that benefit them? Oh, it got out of hand. It doesn't make any sense, guys. There's so many more ways with technology today and other things to if China wanted to an attack vector, then to be sloppy with some bird flu. It doesn't make sense. It's stupid. And the fact that Trump is saying that he's got evidence, and he's you can't trust him. He's been caught lying thousands of times. Which brings me to my last point. He was called out. He's been saying that Barack Obama left him nothing but broken, faulty coronavirus tests. It's Obama's fault. It's the WHO's fault. It's China's fault. It's the governor of Michigan's fault. Not his, though. Win at all costs. Point the finger at everybody else. He's a weak man. He's a very weak man, and I think he's a little freaking crazy. Win at all costs. And that means us. That means the world. That means the country. It means anybody. It's all about Donald Trump and his ego. It's not about Republicans. It's not about Democrats. It's not about conservatives. It's not about liberals. It's about Donald Trump winning at all costs. If you can't see that by now, you're covering your eyes. All right, back to that last point. Barack Obama left him faulty coronavirus tests. Jim Acosta, which I'm sure you guys all hate, but he called him on that to his face. Well, Mr. President, coronavirus didn't appear until December of 2019. There was no coronavirus back when Barack Obama was president. There was no coronavirus. There was no COVID-19 when Barack Obama was president. Therefore, how could there be any tests? How could there be broken tests for coronavirus, COVID-19, if there was no COVID-19? So you're a liar, right? Trump said specifically that Barack Obama left him broken COVID-19 tests. Specifically. Caught lying, blaming other people, just like he's doing with China. He's dangerous. It's not about Republicans. It's not about Democrats. He's ever since, I believe, since the bleach incident, he's gone into psycho mode and just be blaming everybody and anything else for anything and everything. He get elected at all costs. He's got to look good. He's got to keep his base. That's all that matters to him. All right. You guys have a good Saturday.